Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Lee Cantor here with Stone Payton, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio. And Stone, we got a full house today.
Hey, man, we got a studio full. This is going to be a lot of fun. First up on the Atlanta Business Radio show this morning, please join me in welcoming to the broadcast Vice President of Sales with FieldEdge, Miss Cassie Fields. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, Cassie, with the name like Fields, I guess it was predetermined that you would work for FieldEdge.
Yeah, I get asked a lot if I had anything to do with that. I like to claim it, but I have
You're
nothing
the field
to do
in FieldEdge?
That's
No,
right.
not exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us about FieldEdge. How are you serving folks?
Yeah, absolutely. So FieldEdge is an end-to-end SaaS solution for service contractors in the service space. So we primarily serve HVAC, plumbers, electricians. We do some garage door repair, appliance equipment repair, et cetera. But you think about a service truck on a road, we have a solution that helps them run their business more effectively, both in the office and in the field.
And then when you say that your client, are they typically solopreneurs or small firms, or are these kind of mega firms?
Yeah, so we focus primarily in the SMB and mid-market space. So we do have some enterprise customers. So you think of the reliable heating and air of the world. They're actually a customer of ours. So we do work with quite a lot of large enterprises as well. But I'd say we own, so to speak, the SMB and mid-market space.
And then when you're saying SMB, the size of that firm can be like 1 to 25 or 50?
Yeah, absolutely. So we think about it in terms of 3 segments, what we call the micro segment. And we look at everything in terms of service trucks. So the micro segment would be 1 to 5 trucks on the road. Your mid-market would be 6 to about 30. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the space that we focus on primarily.
And then how'd you get into this line of work?
Majored in biology in college.
So there was a logical next step, right?
Exactly. So, got into sales very early and was working for a cybersecurity company, which obviously makes a lot of sense in terms of transition as well.
Right. But it might be a SaaS cybersecurity.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So the SaaS world is what drew me in, and I think when I came in contact with Ramiz Ansari, who was our previous CEO of the business a few years back, just couldn't deny the value that they were bringing to customers in the space and how much the space really needed a true solution like this. And so came on board with FieldEdge and never looked back.
Now, what attracted you to the kind of SaaS model? Because coming from a biology background, there's not a lot of SaaS in biology, right? Maybe there is now. I don't know.
No, I think I think it was sales that attracted me first to sort of the industry, and then it became so obvious throughout the years that SaaS is the way of the future and for all technology businesses. And so
this subscription monthly based relationship, but the sales process is similar. There's an SDR that's going and prospecting, setting up demos or some sort of meeting, and then somebody selling and then serving.
That's exactly right. So we have a team. We actually launched the Atlanta office 2 years ago. I was the first employee there. We now have over 20 SDRs, and we have about 15.
Just for here in Atlanta?
Correct, yeah.
So how big is this market?
Well, I mean, we focus all across the country. So
with those 20?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So a little over 20, and then our account executives are up and around about 15 right now. So across the sales org, we've gone from 6 employees to over 50 in just that 2-year period across offices.
Since you've been here?
Correct.
Wow. So what's that like, growing that rapidly?
Yeah, chaos, organized chaos. No, it's a lot of fun. I think we've had a lot of extraordinary wins. I think that we've really focused on culture and continuing to keep the essence of our true culture as we continue to scale the business. But I mean, with anybody that's been a part of a SaaS company that's scaled at this kind of pace, you understand.
Just hold on.
Yeah, exactly. But again, just going back to the market and the solution that we provide, we've been around for over 40 years. So we call ourselves the 40-year-old startup. And so I think that, it's just been an interesting ride to take that legacy business with such a fantastic brand recognition and technology in this space and translate it into a SaaS model. That comes with its own challenges, but it does ensure that you're continuing to stay on the forefront of technology for your customer base, and that's been our focus.
Now, did you start as an SDR and kind of live all the roles?
I did in my sales career, but not here at FieldEdge. At FieldEdge, I came in as the director of sales and slowly but surely scaled this org and launched in the past year business development as well, which I'm also in charge of. As we start thinking about partnerships like the one we're going to talk about today, just looking at the landscape and the network across the HVAC industry in particular, and how we can leverage partnerships like our partnership with GreenSky to better serve our customers as a part of the platform.
All right, why don't we bring in GreenSky? Who do you got with you?
I have Dave Segur with me today. Dave, I don't know that I can give you a better introduction than just he is the absolute man to speak to at GreenSky. We've had some fun conversations and are really looking forward to getting to work together over the next few years.
All right, Dave, tell us a little bit about GreenSky.
So GreenSky is a fintech company. We've been around since around 2006. We got our feet doing consumer financing with the Home Depot, and to this day we're in all 2,000 Home Depots nationwide in their installed sales division. Kind of once we figured out our platform and technology, we took GreenSky to the masses, right? So currently we have over 16,000 contractors enrolled in our program. We take almost 1 million credit apps a year from the different contractors that we've enrolled in our platform, and we're a fintech company. And one thing that's really changed in the finance world and how GreenSky's changed it is simplicity. We've made it very simple for a customer to apply and get approved. Using our GreenSky mobile app, we can have a customer approved in less than 90 seconds, all the way up to $55,000.
So now, but the way that it's worked from a customer standpoint, I go into a store, let's say a Home Depot.
Well, more a contractor, right? So let's say you're selling heat and air or whatever, right?
So, right. How about let's talk about something I need a new deck.
Okay.
Right? That would work too, right?
Right.
I know you guys are HVAC, so it's the same thing, right? HVAC or deck building, similar.
Contractor.
A contractor. So I'm a contractor. I make decks. I want to leverage Home Depot's kind of audience, right? The people that come in there are looking for help in this area.
Right.
And then now I'm connected with GreenSky to kind of vet me to.
That is
what are you doing?
Absolutely correct. So the contractor offers the GreenSky program. We have over 30 different payment options the contractor can choose from. Obviously, we recommend that they pick 2 or 3 to use, right?
Right.
We always recommend that they pick a promotional loan, like a no interest, no payment loan, and a long-term payment option to hit both customers. The customer who's smart with his money has the ability to pay something off quickly, right? How often do you walk into Best Buy or Home Depot and see a promotional loan? It's offered to every customer every time. And then we also recommend that they offer a long-term loan for the customer who's smart, has good credit, maybe can't pay that loan off quickly, but can certainly make a monthly payment. Mm-hmm. So we teach the contractors to offer consumer financing to every customer on every lead. And that's kind of our big thing. Every customer, every lead, and offer at least 2 payment options. If the customer wants to take advantage of the contractor's financing through GreenSky, they open up their GreenSky mobile app. Maybe they ask to see the customer's driver's license. They scan that driver's license. That'll auto-populate the credit application. They hand their phone or their tablet to the customer, let the customer enter their Social Security, phone number, gross annual income, click a review screen, click on another screen that basically says, yes, I understand I'm applying for a loan, hit submit, and then within about 3 seconds, you have an approval right over your phone.
It's a kind of a yes or no.
Wow.
Exactly. It's amazing. So that gives us the ability to do 1 million credit apps a year, right?
Right.
So,
and then typically this contractor, if they didn't utilize this, they don't have the resources to do anything like this.
Right.
They'd be a cash business. You either have the money or you don't.
You don't. And what we've found is that if a contractor really takes advantage of consumer financing, right? Out of every 10 leads that they run, if they offer it to every customer every time, that's kind of our thing, right? Here in Georgia, everybody says "Go Dogs," and at GreenSky we say every customer every time. So if they do that, if they offer it to every customer every time, our statistics show us that they'll close at least 1 extra lead out of every 10 deals that they run, right? Out of one extra job. And they'll see an increase of about 20% of their contract price. Mm-hmm. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? It's a win for GreenSky. It's a win for the contractor.
It's a win for Home Depot.
It's a win for Home Depot or whoever we're doing business with.
Mm-hmm. So then how'd you get connected with FieldEdge?
We reached out to FieldEdge. I run sponsor relations at GreenSky, and we reached out to them and said, hey, we would love to talk to you guys about letting us API onto your platform. We'd like to show you what we do, and how we can help your contractors grow their business. And FieldEdge is great about they're all about their customers. They're all about bringing value to their customers and all about teaching them to be better business people and showing them different ways that they can grow their business. And GreenSky is one of those ways that they've chosen.
So now, Cassie, with your people, your contractors, you're giving them, you're making them aware that this exists.
Absolutely.
Right? Because they're kind of going at it on their own, and this gives them leverage and an additional revenue source.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it fits in so amazingly to the conversation that we're already having with the contractor about driving revenue and really optimizing both the office and the field. And so when we sat down to talk with Dave and his team, I just remember looking around the room and we're all shaking our heads going, we got to do this. This is a fantastic opportunity for our contractors to really focus on driving additional revenue and value to their customers for that matter.
So now, is this type of relationship super complex? Does this require a lot of technology kind of cooperation in order to pull this off elegantly?
It's not super complex. They have a great team over there that we're working with. We have an integration team that's totally dedicated to working with companies like FieldEdge, where they can do a full-blown API, so it can, technology or the credit application information can be shared between the two platforms. The whole idea behind working with FieldEdge is to have the contractor apply on the FieldEdge platform. And
so to stay there
so they don't have to leave that platform.
Right.
That's the whole idea behind the API. And FieldEdge, the FieldEdge team and the GreenSky team are working diligently to finish that up.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that the experience for that technician in the field too, we talk often about the fact that this resonates for both of our businesses, but technicians are not born salespeople. And so what we do is by providing them with a mobile application and a simple way to offer options to the customer, it makes them natural and makes them more efficient and effective as salespeople.
Right. So they're not really selling; they're just going down kind of a list of offerings.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is one of them, and this is kind of an obvious one.
Yeah, and we're reducing the opportunity for human error as well. So a lot of times with financing, even if you have a financing option and a field service management platform, a lot of times those technicians have to re-enter information from one app into another. It's a nightmare.
Mistake waiting to happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So our plan is to eliminate that together as partners.
And once again, the whole idea behind helping someone be more successful is back to our little saying, right? Every customer, every time. Because we want that contractor, that plumber, that heating and air guy to maybe be able to upsell to a 20 SEER or go from a 12 SEER to a 16 SEER unit, and showing them the payment difference, right? Showing that it's only going to cost an extra $20 a month to go from that 12 SEER.
And they already have the
SEER.
credit to do this, so it becomes an easy yes.
Exactly. And through the platform, they'll be able to, without leaving the FieldEdge platform, they'll be able to show the customer that payment difference and upsell that customer very, very simply and without a lot of pressure, right? It's just basic, here's the difference. Would you like to do this? And, oh, by the way, you'll probably save that, the difference in payment, you'll probably save that in energy savings by going from a 16 SEER to a 20 SEER unit, right? So there's so many benefits to offering the financing for the contractor. And that's our job and FieldEdge's job to train the small, mid-sized, larger guys on how to do that. Like Cassie said, the trucks, right? Lots of guys, the guys that only have 2 trucks or 1 truck, they've got a certain way of doing things. They're in a hurry. They forget about offering financing, but because of how they're positioning us in their platform, they'll be able to offer
Right,
it
it's
very
just
simply.
built into it. It's not something that they have to go and figure out or go find you somewhere or find someone like you.
Exactly.
It's just built into the thing they're already using. Now, how challenging is it? Both of your customers are contractors, right?
Right.
Yes.
Now, how challenging is it with these people that are really good at what they do, the servicing and then doing the work, but they're not kind of like this holistic business person and maybe don't understand, like you said, the selling part's a challenge, or maybe integrating some technology? Like how much of your time is kind of wrangling them and serving them and helping to make their life easier?
Yeah, I think it's you're absolutely right. Most of the time these businesses, they start out, they they're in the trades. They know how to go out and service
Right.
people.
I know how to fix an air conditioner. Maybe I work for somebody else and go, that guy was an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on my own and do my own thing.
Exactly.
Right? Buy a truck. How hard is this, right?
It's exactly how this works.
You know?
Yeah.
So now I'm out there and now I'm like, wow, there sure is a lot of moving parts here that I didn't realize that they were doing. I don't have a help desk. I don't have someone to call to help me.
Well, I think that's, it's a really important point, and it's something that differentiates both of our businesses, and that's the attention that we give to the contractor from the second they become a customer. So, we've at FieldEdge, we've built out an extensive onboarding and training process, but even have a customer success org that with dedicated customer success professionals that are dedicated to accounts to go out and continue teaching them how to use the software. So, from our perspective, nobody expects 100% adoption of software from the second you buy it. It's just not realistic.
Well, that's from your perspective.
Right.
But the contractor's looking to solve a problem.
Of course.
And they're seeing your brochure, your ad, or whatever, and they're like, this is going to solve my problem. I just have to buy this, and then I can stop thinking about this.
Well, the great thing is that most of them are coming from pen and paper. So you do see that kind of improvement immediately from implementing
the software. So they
software.
get early wins.
Exactly right. And it's our job to help show them that and to help educate them about where to find those early, easy wins. But, we do have a lot of experience, as I mentioned, 40 years of it in training technicians and businesses on how to better leverage technology to run their business. And so I think it's also something that attracted us to GreenSky specifically because we understand that they're the best in the market in the financing world and helping to educate their customers on how to do financing and how to leverage technology to do it. And so I don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
So we'll even go as far as once we train the contractor on what programs best fit their customer, right? When we talked earlier, we talked about no interest, no payment type loans, a promotional loan or a long-term loan. We have the inside salespeople at GreenSky trained. If they don't see a credit app from that contractor within 2 or 3 days, we'll actually pick up the phone and go, hey, throughout the training, you said you were running 10 leads in the next couple of days and we didn't see any credit apps come in. Was there something you didn't feel comfortable about? Is there something I didn't, as a GreenSky employee, is there something I didn't explain to you correctly that made you not offer financing? So we really take it upon ourselves
to be proactive. Because we want, through the FieldEdge platform, and using GreenSky, we really see the value in helping these guys grow their business. And whether you've been doing it for 35 years like I have or a year like a lot of the people at GreenSky do, we see the value in helping these small businesses, and that's what it's all about, right? Yeah. Like Cassie said, it's got to be a win-win for everybody. And we want to show them financing is something so easy and so simple they can do to grow their business, And then what they're doing with their platform, where they don't even have to jump off the FieldEdge platform to get approved, is amazing. I mean, they're the cutting edge technology between our two companies is going to change the market for a lot of smaller companies. Now, is this something you're looking for? These kind of complementary relationships where they're not GreenSky and FieldEdge. They're serving the same customer, but they're doing things that are totally complementary. They're not really competitive in the day-to-day work that you're doing. I would imagine the vast majority of the work, but your customers are the same. Is that something you're both looking for, more of those kind of partnerships?
Absolutely. We've recently announced in early February an acquisition of a company called CoolFront. And so CoolFront is a leading price book in the industry. So they've been around for 30 years and have one of the best flat rate programs for HVAC contractors in the industry. And so, whether it's through something like that, a merger and acquisition of a business, or partnerships like the one we have with GreenSky, our overall objective at FieldEdge is to continue to add value to the experience and to the contractor to drive revenue, to optimize their office operations.
To help them make more money, easier, faster.
Exactly. So the answer to your question would be yes, absolutely. We want to partner with companies that add value in the same space, that are leading experts in what they do and specialize in a specific area that we may not specialize in today, but we find valuable to our common customers.
So now, how do you kind of get these contractors to raise their hand to say, hey, you know what, I want to learn more about FieldEdge, or I want to learn more about GreenSky?
So we've between our teams, we've established talk tracks where we're introducing each other into the conversation, and then really easy form fills and things like that to direct our customers to, so that we can get immediate information over. So,
but like your SDRs, what are they doing every day? They're just on the phone. They're calling.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a team. That team of over 20 is outbound calling into the space.
So they're calling, and what are they saying? What's their first conversation?
So they lead with FieldEdge, because obviously that's the end-to-end solution for the business, and it's what introduces GreenSky into the conversation. And so a lot of what they're doing is they're trying to understand how they do things today. So that conversation starts by saying, are you using software? Have you thought about the move to software? We estimate that in the market, we still only see about 40, maybe 45% penetration. So you've got...
So over half are using paper.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow. Do you find that also, Dave?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think and it varies by market segment, right? So if you go up into the enterprise space, that's more like a 70-80% market penetration. But if you look down in sort of the space that we play in, that's the percentage you see. So
what about the micros? It must be even higher.
I mean, that's when you're in that 60% range in terms of using software, or I'm sorry, using pen and paper.
Right.
And so, part of that conversation is a very different conversation than with a contractor that uses software. And so it's better, again, how are you doing it today? What's been your reaction to technology? How are you thinking about it? And what's interesting...
Is it fear? Like, are they afraid, like this is too hard, or I'm not that smart, I can't do this stuff?
Or I've been doing it the same way for
it works.
30
exactly
years.
it.
This
works.
is working.
Yeah. Why would I mess something up, right?
Right?
Why would I change? I'm happy making my $100,000 a year. What if the GreenSky thing, and what if I lose deals? What if I can't work my mobile app fast enough to make the customer feel...
So it's some fear of some kind.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And what's kind of, this is kind of funny, but, we see like, it goes from being Dave's Heating and Air Conditioning Company to Dave and Sons Heating and Air Conditioning Company. And as soon as you see Sons added to it,
That's
you go,
an opportunity.
there's my customer right there.
This young digital native won't have a problem with this.
That's right.
He's right, though. I mean, it's an interesting shift right now.
It really is.
Are you seeing more and more of that the family, I guess, maybe
100%.
a lot of
Yes.
the family members are becoming involved?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're seeing, and with that comes change, right? So they're looking at the way Dad ran the business for 30 years.
I can fix this and make more money, just make this 2 changes, right?
Right. And Dad was using a flip phone. Right. So, this is just a different, different age.
But also that's where they see the opportunity, right? Where there's a lot of upside here that my dad's not even touching because he's old and he's doing it the old way.
I mean, it's really an interesting, like I said, it's
it must be this transitional time, right?
Yes.
Because where the younger people are all digital natives now, and the older people went that transition from paper to digital.
And that's why at GreenSky we still have like 3 different ways people can apply, right? They can apply over the phone, they can apply over the internet, or we have 2 call centers. We have one in Atlanta and one in Kentucky, because we still get contractors that say, well, there's no way the customer's going to want to put my information in his phone, right?
Right.
So you feel better if you call Kentucky.
Call a stranger
call Kentucky
on the phone.
and give him that, right?
Okay, whatever works for you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we have the several different ways the customers can apply. We understand that and we respect that. We don't want to change everybody in one day, as great as that would be, but
it's an evolution. But what is the so when you're going out there and how do the contractors that are still doing paper and pen, are you reaching them through the internet? Like, what means are you going to like home shows? How do you kind of get a hold of these kind of a large chunk of people?
What's the benefit of having a large SDR team? They can go out and scour the internet for new businesses, but we do go to trade shows. So we go to a lot of the same trade shows.
But like home shows, or are you doing like industry trade shows?
Industry trade shows primarily.
Industry stuff.
So these people, even if they are kind of older and they still want to know what's the latest and understand what equipment's out there, and so they're going to industry shows still?
Absolutely. Yep. And we have a partnership. We announced our corporate sponsorship of ACA recently, which is a large association for the industry. We do things like that, right? So
is that one show a year, or they do regional ones?
They have a lot of regional shows as well. Well, they have a lot of regional association, so to speak. So you've got, as an example, TACA out in Texas, right? And then you've got ACA, which is the corporate sponsorship. And so we do the corporate shows, but we also go out and interact and interface at some of the local meetings as well, if we can get into those.
You know, in those trade shows like that are really great. I mean, they do a lot of breakout sessions and roundtables.
Yeah.
Right. And so FieldEdge will sponsor a breakout session.
Right.
Or GreenSky will sponsor one. And, you know, I've done breakouts where I get like 40 or 50 guys there, and they're all sitting there. Wow, this is great. This is great. You know,
It sounds good.
It sounds good. And then, you know, you get their cards or you get the list and you reach out to them afterwards. And it's easy to get people to sign up with GreenSky, right? It's simple to get them to do that because it doesn't cost them anything.
Right. It's getting them to do that first transaction.
You got it. It's
the first one's the hard one, right?
That's why our sales team, after they do the full-blown training, right, they end the training, like I said earlier, with, hey, how many leads are you going to be running this week? Oh, I got 10 on the schedule. Okay, I'm going to check on you and see if you've submitted anything. If they don't get a lead, like I said earlier, if they don't get a lead or a credit app in the first couple days, my guys are back on the phone going, hey, what did we do? You know, how can we move this forward?
Yeah.
So now, what's next? How do you see this relationship evolving?
So right now, we've just recently launched phase 1 of our integration. So we'll be launching phase 2 of that in the coming months, which will be a deep integration. I'd say one of the best integrations probably in the industry, which will provide an even more seamless process for the contractor as they're out in the field to offer consumer financing options to the consumer. But I mean, I think that, you know, we want to continue to do more interviews like this with all you lovely folks, and just promoting the partnership. But,
yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to the next steps, right? Mm-hmm. We see great things. They have a huge book of business, and we think that with a great marketing message and continued support from FieldEdge for GreenSky and GreenSky to FieldEdge, we're gonna change everybody's business. Yeah. GreenSky will value, FieldEdge will value,
right.
and
everybody wins.
It's a win-win, and that's what
business is all about. But it's a win-win-win. Right? Like each of you win, but the contractor ultimately wins. They're the ones who are going to be making more money easier. And,
that's right,
and they're going to love that. So if somebody wanted to learn more, what's the coordinates for you, Cassie?
They can visit the website, so www.fieldedge.com. They can give us a call directly. We'd love to talk to anyone that's curious about either partnership or either platform. And
Dave?
And just go to greensky.com, and there's 800 numbers on there, and they can call in and talk to somebody or shoot us an email. We always try to return it.
Or they'll see you at one of the ACA events.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any of the industry trade shows.
There's no escape.
We'll be at Reamrude down there in Orlando, I think, here next week as well. So lots of good events coming up.
Well, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. And let's go do a live broadcast at one of these things sometime. I love Orlando. We just got back from Orlando.
Twice.
We'd love to do it.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey, how about staying with us? We got one more guest we're going to visit with.
Sounds great.
All right. Lee, you ready for the headliner?
I am.
She's
excited.
been very patient. She's been over here. She's been nodding her head, so I think she in great approval of what these two folks were up to. I thought I caught her taking some notes, but now it's ready to have a conversation with her. Please join me in welcoming to the show co-founder and managing director with Atlanta SEO Pro, Miss Ashley Velez. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. What'd you learn in that last segment?
A lot of the people that they are working with, GreenSky and FieldEdge, are a lot of our same customers as well.
Oh, really?
Small to medium-sized businesses, but we do have a lot of contractors that we serve who, again, are underserved in many different ways, whether it's with their client acquisition, and then on our end, it's more marketing based.
So a lot of us, maybe someone like me, I actually have a go-to guy that is in my church. But if I didn't, and I needed air conditioning work, one of my go-to moves is go to the internet, right?
Right.
And look it up.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So tell us a little bit about your practice.
Well, we started officially last year, so we're still fairly young, but it is an iteration of my business partner, James Balls. He has been creating new businesses for 20 plus years or longer, and said that he was going to start a new business tailored towards small business and digital marketing for small business. And I was his right-hand person in his last venture. Very much the same concept, digital marketing aimed at small to medium-sized businesses. We are a fraction of a marketing department for a lot of these small companies that can't afford to have a full marketing department. And I was his right-hand person at the last organization. And in 2014, we were both there a couple of years. And in 2014, we both split off, did some other things. I went and worked at some full-time roles in healthcare, did marketing for some healthcare companies, also did marketing for a software development company. And last year...
You just can't hold a job, can you?
I did. You know, millennials, we're just bouncing around everywhere. And so last year he came to me and he said, I'm going to do this again. We're going to build it from scratch, which has been both a blessing and a learning experience. And so we are officially 1 year in. We have a team of 7 after starting with just the 2 of us. And we love serving small business. So,
well, let's define some terms for the people who aren't as familiar as you are. SEO, what does that mean?
Search engine optimization.
And then what does that mean for a person we're using these contractors as kind of the persona for a typical business person? So I'm a contractor. I got a couple trucks. I used to work for a large firm. Now I'm on my own. This large firm had the benefit of maybe billboards or TV commercials or radio commercials, but I'm just, lead the HVAC guy. So I have a handful of trucks. And I said, my kid says I should have a website. So I put a website up. And then I just wait by the phone, and then until somebody calls me. That's what Cassie, you'll vouch for that. That's probably typical, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I'm not getting, no one's calling me because there's a million HVAC people in my market. How does Atlanta SEO Pro help me kind of get more business or get more people at least coming to my website?
First things first, we would run your website through an SEO audit tool that we have. It's a free tool on our website. So if you go to atlantaseo.pro, you can fill out the audit tool. But it's really a matter of finding the right keywords for your business. A lot of business owners think that they know the correct keywords that people are typing in to find their business. But a lot of times when they have that first discussion with us, they find out that they're, in fact, incorrect.
Right, but like in this case, there's a lot of HVAC people. Wouldn't we all have the same keywords?
Yes, and so...
So I want to be first. So what are you going to do to make me the first thing that shows up at... But I don't have a lot of money.
Right.
So I can't compete with the guys that have, 100 trucks or 1,000 trucks.
Right. So you would want to make sure that we use a lot of keyword research tools in order to find out what those are. And so when we would go into the back end of your website, we would add those keywords into each and every page, your home page, your about page, your services page. And another key piece is content, creating content on your website. Blogging is still very important.
So then content, you mean like I have to write articles?
Yes.
But I got work to do. I'm in people's houses.
Right.
So how am I going to be able to write all this stuff?
You would talk to me.
So I just talk to you? And then that makes content appear?
Basically, one of the key pieces that we have for all of our clients is we insist that every contact for every business that we have has a weekly conversation with our account reps. And so through that, they gain the knowledge of the business, whether it's HVAC or whether it's, an interior designer or whatever it is, learning them, and we become them on the internet. So we really, really have a heart for them and what they're doing. So they don't have to worry about the content that we're creating. They don't, well, they do. They have a piece in it in that they're helping.
They're the subject matter experts,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But you're helping get that out of their heads onto a page.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then so there's a call. How long is this call? Is this like 4 hours?
No.
How long
No, they've got things to do. They've got things to fix.
Right.
They have customers to talk to. So no longer than 20 minutes. I mean, we insist on it.
A 20-minute call.
Yep.
And then every week you're asking me like, how's it going? Or like what kind of questions on the typical call?
I want to know what their pain points are. What are they struggling with? Is it still SEO? I mean, that's a piece of what we do. Another piece
is that the blog post?
Yes, that's
So
some of the
you're-
blog posts. It's also the keywords on their website. So again, the titles and the descriptions of the pages.
Right. So there's like the smart stuff that I don't want to worry myself about.
Right.
Behind the scenes of the
Right.
website, that's your problem, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm paying for, is you
Yes.
to fix that. But I know all the stuff about fixing air conditioners and what the challenges that my customers are having. Are you asking me things about that?
Yes, absolutely. And that's part of what we aim to get from the business owner during these phone calls. We have a handful of restaurants and again, just any really sort of disparate small business. And so it's finding out, when is their slow period? When would they like to boost sales? Or for an HVAC guy, it's which areas do you want to target? And we go after it with landing pages, pieces of content, all those SEO keywords.
And then it's a turnkey service. Like you're in charge now of my website and SEO?
Yes.
And then so I just hand that over to you, and then you interview me every week or so, and then we get updated content. So then over time, I'll slowly rank higher and higher.
Yes, organically. We also do pay-per-click. If a client does have a budget for that, a lot of our clients don't, because that's how they
Right.
find us. But we do that. We also do social media, so we'll take over all of their social media accounts.
Because
Facebook,
once you have this
Instagram.
content, then you can repurpose it into
Yes.
these other areas.
All right, let's
Exactly.
talk about me for a minute. I've been very quiet, but part of my responsibility is to make sure that our studio partners, and we're one of 9, but we run the whole deal, that when we publish a show like this, that it is the kind of thing that people want to share. All right, so we're doing pretty good on that side of things. But as I'm hearing you talk, I'm getting the idea that there are some, I don't like the word rules, but suggestions, protocols, some things that every time one of our studio partners publishes an episode that they should do that would help them get better SEO in Phoenix, but also just the whole network would be better off. Is this true?
Yes.
All right. And so you would either do the publishing, or you would help us with the Business Radio X publishing guidebook for our people, or anything in between?
Both.
Okay.
Just everything. We could help you figure out which channels would best suit you for the messaging, whether it's
Right.
LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, depending on which target market you want to hit with the radio show or whichever piece of content you're trying to push out. And then also we can do it for you.
Okay, so there's the distribution, there's the channels out there, but even before we turn it loose, there's some things in what you put on the page, right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a matter of what's written on the page and how it's written, the titles that are there, the descriptions that are there, and the actual content itself.
Right. And if we do a good job of that, like we publish this episode, this will get published in a couple of days, right?
Right.
Or less. When we do, everybody's going to win. Dave, Cassie, you, everybody, us, everybody's going to win if we can publish with some of these
Yes,
protocols.
absolutely.
So all we have to do is just watch what Ashley does, and then we'll know what
Or
to
just
do.
send Ashley the audio.
Yeah.
I've been taking pictures during the show. We could send Ashley the audio. And you guys really, there is a level of service where you would just take it and run with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. My business partner, James, and I, both of us, we connect so well because we just have such a heart for this, for helping anyone really. And so, yeah, if you send it to us, we'll make it work.
Now, what is the pricing for this? Is this something that costs thousands or tens of thousands of dollars a month?
No. Our initial price point is $539 a month. And that's for a client who's already on WordPress. We do and pretty much insist on using WordPress as a platform because of the SEO value that
Right.
it provides over some of the other platforms. But yes, we start at $539 a month. We only write 6-month contracts because we don't want any of our clients to be beholden to us for longer than that. And a lot of what goes into the contract as well is training them. So if they want to learn more about MailChimp, if they want to take that on their own, if they want to learn how to do Facebook ads, we'll teach them. There is a component in each one of our contracts where we will teach the small business owner how to do 1, 2, 3 different things. Because at the end of the 6 months, if they feel like they're in a good place, we don't want to keep them. That's how we're different in a lot of ways. We certainly don't want them to stay just because we would love for them to stay. But if they feel like they can do it on their own, then we've helped them.
Good stuff. Now, if somebody wanted to learn more, have more substantive conversation with you and your team, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Our website is atlantaseo.pro, or they could email James or myself at ashley@atlantaseo.pro or james@atlantaseo.pro.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you so much. Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Today is my little brother's birthday.
All right.
Happy birthday, Ian.
All right, Ian. Shout out to Ian.
Well, how old is Ian?
He's 32.
Wow. All right. Happy birthday,
Little
Ian.
baby.
Right. That's a good Irish name, too. Aren't we coming right off of
We are.
the big holiday?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right. This is Lee Cantor for Stone Pit, and we will see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.